Hello, welcome to Lambda class. In today's video, we'll talk about AND and OR operators in Clojure. Let us take a look at AND first. AND can need any number of arguments. And OR operator is the same for that regard. AND operator is very similar to AND operator or built-in function in other languages such as Python and Ruby. But there is a slight difference here, and that's because Clojure inherits AND and OR operator functionalities from Lisp language family. Let us take a look. Basically, AND operator checks whether every argument is satisfied. Well, satisfied is a vague term, we can say. And what is the condition of satisfaction? In Clojure, there are two kinds of satisfaction. One is simply true in Boolean. So if all of the arguments for AND operator are true, then we can say, oh, AND operator has been satisfied overall. Let us try that. So AND operator has true arguments, any number of them, then it will return true. That is the satisfaction condition number one, we can say. What about others? Values that is not nil nor false. And we can elaborate this as any values. Any values that are neither nil nor false will satisfy the condition. It means this: if the second argument is 1 and true, this is satisfied as well. However, if one of those arguments is nil, then it is not satisfied, because nil is actually not accepted as satisfied or something like true in AND operation. Likewise, if the value is false, it is not also satisfied. But any values such as keyword, that's true, such as symbol, will be satisfied. Even collection types such as vector, map, even set will be satisfied. So this is condition to be satisfied. Let us take a look at OR operation now. OR operator is almost the same as AND, but it is different direction in checking the logical conditions. In other words, where AND checks every single argument needs to be satisfied, OR operator checks if any one argument has been satisfied and others doesn't matter. So for instance, we have nil and false, but we have true as one of the set of the arguments. It is satisfied. Likewise, it also could be any values that are neither nil nor false, such as 1 to 3. That is also satisfied. And interestingly, when the value is satisfied, or operator, likewise and operator, they return the value itself, not, true or something. It returns the value itself. So we can kind of pass values through and or operator, but we can still get the value. This is more like a Lisp convention here. Oh. Go back. And in the meantime, if every value is nil or false, then it is going to be, unsatisfied, like false, this way. There's one more thing that we want to think about. That is whether, when a certain condition is met, does and or operator checks the rest of the following arguments. This is important because this impacts performance of the code. For instance, when there is AND operator, second argument is true. Let's say first argument is true. But what about if there are lots of unsatisfying conditions values followed? When the operator reached the second argument, which is nil, so this is not satisfying, does it have to check, or does actually check the rest of the arguments? That's the question, and that makes it less performant or less efficient of the code. This way we can see nil is returned, so maybe false has been reached. But there is a more direct way to check that. The second nil we can wrap it in do notation, and we can print something. Like that. If the AND operator terminates at the second argument, then this print line function will not be executed. If that's opposite, yes, println will be executed. Let's see how it happens. If nothing is printed. If the second argument is actually a value, then the third argument will be ran, and nil will be returned, and it will execute, it will terminate right there. Yes, this time it is printed. We can regard the same situation for OR operator. OR will so remove the second argument, and the first argument will be true. Then OR expects only one argument to be satisfied. We can imagine that the second argument, or even third, or anything that follows, will not have to be read by OR operator. That's what we can expect, and let's see if this is true. We can say second argument. Yeah, it is not executed because the first argument is true already, then it terminates right there. It doesn't have to read the rest of the argument. What if this is not true but false? And the third one is true, or value, we can say. This will be interesting. Yes, the print line is executed, but it terminates because of the nil. It doesn't, oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. It terminates at the third argument because this is OR operator, so false or nil is not satisfying, but OR will be expecting just only one, at least one argument to be satisfied, and this 1, 2, 3 is satisfying. So it terminates right there and return 1, 2, 3 and execute the print line in the middle for the second argument. So this is it for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it in the comment boxes for the video page. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.